October. Yeah.
All right. Well, let's hear some good news. Gil, what do you have then?
It's another beautiful day in Las Vegas. I woke up again today. I started a new job. Actually, I decided I cannot throw freight at night anymore. I put in my 2 weeks notice and they came and begged me to stay at the store. So I said, well, I originally applied to be a cashier during the daytime. So yesterday I actually worked a 6-hour shift as a cashier at the Albertsons. So I'm around human beings again. I got to talk to people, help everyone. I made tons of mistakes and I'm going to go back and do it again today. And life is good.
I love you. I love you for all of that. I love you for being able to say, this is not working for me and I got to do something different. And all right, well, I agreed to do this. So put me up here. And especially, I made tons of mistakes and I'm going to do it again. I love it. All right. Who else is out there making some good mistakes? Let's hear them. I know Craig wants to talk. I can see him pushing the buttons on his phone with the sunshine and that gorgeous smile. What do you got, honey?
There we go. Yeah. So I was reading, well, I'm listening to a book called Power. Rhonda Bynes. She was the author of The Secret.
Oh, I've never read either one of those.
Yeah, so The Secret was like a really good book. Had different different people in there. One of them, Rob Proctor, Canfield. It was a few of them, but anyway, The Secret basically talks about using your power of
The law of attraction.
law of attraction. There you go.
Yeah. Ooh,
So
we
the
should talk about
power.
the science behind that. Keep on going.
Okay, so I was listening to The Power yesterday, or Power it's called, and it reminded me of something that I already knew, but it was a good reminder that just because we look at a situation as bad doesn't mean that it's actually bad. It may be bad to me, but good to someone else, or vice versa.
Mm-hmm.
And by listening to that statement, it just made me realize that mindset is everything. And, you know, when you change your mindset, you know, and think positive thoughts, positive things happen.
Yep. And I love that because your filter that you see things through is that filter. And because we're filtering that way, it affects our thoughts affect our feelings affect our thoughts affect our actions affect our habits, and that just entrenches it. It just entrenches.
Absolutely.
Yep.
So I should really take the fact that I woke up this morning, I have a sick kid, my whole day's going down the tube, and think positively that I'm going to meet somebody that's going to buy a house in the doctor's office.
Yep, there you go.
I don't know. Yeah.
I love it.
I do too. And that's not to say that I think sometimes we face things very realistically, like this is all going on, you know, and somehow something, you know, I don't know what's going to come out of it, but something still is going to come out of it. Because I also am not a complete Pollyanna, but I do believe all things work for good in the end. I really do. You know, I really, really do. It's not the end. We've survived everything so far.
Yeah.
You know, and
You know,
yeah.
And to that point, you know, I hear people say, I'm having a bad day. And I always say, I never have bad days. It's just some are better than others.
Some stretches. A day too. I love that. All right, let's dig in. Who else has got some good news? Bree's here.
I have a closing. Yeah. My closing's tomorrow and my installation. I have a leadership retreat for NARAB.
Nice.
And
is it like an all-day thing?
Huh?
Is it an all-day thing?
Yeah, it's an all-day thing. And my paperwork I've been asked to serve on a leadership position at the Nashville Chamber of Commerce. So I submit that this weekend.
Way cool. If you, as you're moving through these ranks, want to do a, what was that thing that you're doing, the retreat? If you ever want to do one of those, I will walk you through. I have a whole thing laid out that's really good on bonding people in together that I built up after 7 years of doing it. So if you ever want to do something like that, I'll walk you through
I
it.
do. Yeah, I do. I'm the chair of the Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Committee, and I want to do something for them.
Oh, okay. Pick your date and then we'll start building out. All right.
Okay.
Cool. You can steal everything. All right. Who else has got some good news? I see Kathy down there. Well, I don't see her. She's in the dark. And I can see that Liz is here, but she's on mute, so she might not be able to talk. Kathy? Going once, going twice. I don't know if it's working because I can see. There you are. Well, we can't see you, but got some good news?
I got the HOA document started.
Nice. Baby steps and we keep on going. Love it. It is, man. Okay, Bree, I have full confession for you. You ready? I got up about 15 minutes before this meeting also. And these are my jammies. So there you go. But from here up, it looks pretty decent. But you know, the cool thing is it doesn't really, I was thinking on my way down the stairs this morning, I'm like, you know, if you have a commitment at 5:30 and you wake up at 5:15 or 5 o'clock or 5:20, you still have a commitment at 5:30. And then I instantly went, if you have a commitment at 5:30 and you wake up at 5:45, you still have a commitment at 5:30. Don't do that, you know? And it's not that I do, it's just that I don't really care what the condition is. If you know what I mean? It's like, by God, we have a commitment, we do our commitment. And if it means putting on, you know, a sweatshirt over your jammies and hoping to God that, you know, you don't have to get outside of the car in your slippers, that's what it means, because you have a dang commitment. So I love it. Love it, love it, love it. All right. Do you guys have challenges at all? Or do you want to kind of dig into the way the secret works? What do you got, Gil?
I've abandoned the word challenges. I've now transformed that into opportunities.
I love it. You got some?
Okay, so I've got a couple marketing campaigns. I was doing the Facebook ad with Braden Kinder, and I stopped it after the $150. I got 37 leads, but I got on with him Monday because I wanted to start a different campaign, and he suggested that I get to 100 leads before I abandoned that. So I'm going to need to turn my Facebook ad back on and get that going. But the opportunity for me is these 37 leads that have come into my system. I'm now seeing that a couple of them have looked at homes. I'm seeing now in my my CRM, my KV Core, that they've opened some emails, but making these phone calls and actually having conversations with people and talking to them, I haven't been able to do that as well as I want to be able to do. Anybody's suggestions or advice on working with these new leads you're getting out of Facebook and KV Core?
Well, first off, my first question is, when you say you're not have been as able as you'd like, do you mean that you're having a rough time picking up the phone, or they're not answering? Which one?
Okay, it's a little of 50-50. Like a majority of the ones I called went to voicemail, so I left the message. I noticed I haven't really got any response on text. I've had one good conversation with a woman whose daughter's moving here in the next couple months. And then I even have some of them in there that I met at open houses that are opening emails, but haven't communicated back yet. And so just this whole building rapport and working with people and, you know, moving them along, I'm still learning.
All right. Internet leads. Who's got advice on converting them?
I sort of have the same opportunity skill.
You'll say opportunities, so let's go with that too.
Which is why I was talking yesterday about maybe getting someone else to help, because it's either myself or whatever, but part of what I've done is I've looked at what they're responding to, if they're responding to in text, if they're responding to an email, that kind of thing, and then trying to respond in the same way until I get, some sort of rapport. But what I'm finding, unfortunately, for the most part, is that, people are just out there looking. And I know that means at some point they probably want to do something for the most part, but that's what I'm running into. So I get frustrated, but
So I sent out, one of the things from NAEA was like the 7 costly mistakes when buying a home. It's like a
Yeah.
7-page with the 7 laws, good document. I made a little edit to it to add me, but I sent that out to my database, and I noticed that I got a lot of clicks. A lot of people opened that. Not a lot, but out of about 50 people, I had like 6 of them open it.
That's good. An
then-
10% rate is very good. 10-11% rate. It is good.
Yeah.
For us, right?
And so then I've also been watching that woman, Sylvia Dana. She's been doing like bomb videos, and I'm thinking, well, maybe it's time for me to try to go on YouTube and just create a little video individual for each person who opened it. Just say, hi, I'm Gil. I noticed that you were, this, please call me. Or,
have
I
you
don't know if
tried the
anybody's
video
tried that.
chat? Have you tried the video chat in KV Core? I have not. But
I
have you?
haven't.
BombBomb works with KV Core. So you can actually send it from KV Core, and then it'll track it in there, and you'll have everything together. So you can either send it from your email, your text, or from KV Core.
Here's the little 2 cents I have on the internet leads. The average internet person is 18 months to 3 years out. When they first start their search, and you don't know if you're picking up at the beginning, middle, or end. That's why some pop sooner than others. And if you think about it, that aligns probably pretty true to, well, my car. When I bought my car, I did research for a solid year on my car online before I purchased, and it was a car. It wasn't even a house, it was a car. So there's a ways out. And then they do, who said, Kathy, you said, by the way, remind me of Princess Leia this morning. So the following along the channels that they like, that's one of the clues. I knew a guy up in DC area, a big agent up there, who did all internet leads, and he said it's this really takeaway dance. And I'm like, what do you mean? And he's like, you can't be like, hey, you can't be too in their face. You have to like approach a step and then back up, and approach a step and kind of back up. And you have to keep on doing this dance. It's very sort of non-committal, like, hey, I don't mind. I mean, if you want, I can do stuff. And if you don't, that's okay too. And he was very much that way in all of his messaging. And he said that he found that really worked really well. And I was talking with a girl yesterday about doing, it's the takeaway close is what it is. And I told her that when I was a kid, someone taught me how to bring ducks to you, because I was little and I wanted to bring the ducks to me. And she's like, bend your arms out wide, kind of squat down a little bit and walk backwards, and the ducks will come to you. And it's always been in my brain about the takeaway close, about walking away a little bit. But the thing I think that I would do today, if I was really going after it, is I think I would go after something along the lines of, and I love the video idea, and I probably would incorporate that into something along the lines of, I see you've been searching for da-da-da-da-da. I have access to off-market properties where we can find things that match up with what you're looking for that aren't online. Are you at all interested? And I think I would try and do some things that set me apart. That would be one. Another one would be if you or anyone you know has any credit issues, we know how to work around that as well. I'd probably go that direction also. And I would just start flushing out to find out what message, and I would craft a bunch of them And I would try and see what is the message that draws that person in. And if, once I know that they're looking for off-market properties, I'm going to market in my KV Core and I'm going to keep on going that direction. And I'm really going to segment it out to what it is that they're looking for. But if inventory is really hard, go that direction. If it's the credit and the interest rates that are freaking them out, go that direction. You know, but do a little bit of trying to figure out what it is that they're, you know, that they're looking for, but not a big blast all at once. Not everything. You know what I mean?
Yeah, so I'm gonna turn that Facebook ad back on and and up my ad spend a little bit more and let the pipeline fill up some more. And then I'm gonna try and incorporate some of these individual videos and just see if I can get some clicks. And then I'll also probably add, like what you were saying, add something of more of value. Right now I'm doing the monthly, every 28 days, a monthly market report. And I noticed I got a click from that. So I'll just try to add a little bit of value and just realize these might not happen overnight.
It's a pipeline. It's exactly what it is. It's a pipeline. And that's why, I mean, I like Braden's thing of getting at least 100, because that's also giving, when you do a form of lead generation, whatever it is, and you first start it, you need to give it time to work for that lead generation model. So if you're doing a farm and all you're doing is mailing postcards randomly to a neighborhood, you need to expect a year minimum for that to hit. Could you hit something tomorrow? Absolutely, you could hit something tomorrow. But usually farming is a year to 2 years out. It just is. They got to get
Okay.
comfortable. Yeah.
And I actually, I have actually a deal because an agent I know from Tacoma, Washington is buying a house down here.
Every time
And
you get it, it's so weird.
and she put me on as a realtor, so I'm going to split the deal 50-50 with her. I used to work with her. But when I was talking to the sales agent out at the development where the new house is getting built, he was saying that like he's seen an uptick over the last 30 days of people, you know, just showing up to look at the homes there. And he says 50% of those people are from California that are, you know, thinking of moving to Las Vegas. So I wanted to do another Facebook ad spend on people in California that might be buying in Las Vegas. But he says I have to really narrow down on my target audience in California, like where they're coming from. And I'm not sure how to start that process.
So do you not know how to find the data on our side, or do you of where they're coming from, or do you not know how to narrow it down on Braden's side with the Facebook ad?
Yeah, I mean, Braden says, you know, it's a great idea, but where in California do you want to focus?
Oh, that's easy.
Large cities,
Pardon me?
large cities.
Oh, even better, y'all. Let's go find it. Come on, I'm going to show you guys something.
Real flow.
Another one. I love this site. Oh, I want to leave that up because I'm studying about the RAS for the class. Let me see. I think it's called this. There we go. IRS tax migration. How many walks? All right. Okay. So Gil, bleh. Are you familiar with this screen at all? You familiar with this? How many walks? You're muted, darling.
No, I haven't seen that screen. I'm definitely going to.
Gary has it on his miscellaneous websites. I use this all the time. It blows people's brains wide open. It's free. We just happen to know where it is, but people don't know where it is. So the first thing is you're looking at the map of the United States. Red is states where more people are leaving. Green is where more people are coming in. It has nothing to do with politics. And oh gosh, this is not people moving. There's another website that Gary has up there that's like the U-Haul moving report or something like that, which is actually people moving. This is money, but where money well, housing is the biggest component almost always. And where industry goes, housing goes as well. So they tie together really, really well. So anyway, let's pull up Nevada, which is a green state. And oh, what county are you? Hang on, where is it? What
Clark.
county? Clark?
Up. You're in Arizona, so just move up to the left.
Oh, okay. Well, that's why
There
it's
you
not looking the same. I'm like, that doesn't look at all right. Okay, Clark, because I knew you were down that part, and I'm like, why am I not
Yeah.
finding? Okay, so here's where your money's coming from, honey. LA, Orange County, San Diego. This is Chicago. Cook County, Santa Clara is San Jose. That's where all your
right.
money's coming from, and your money's going to Nevada, Nye County is probably the county right next to you. Yeah, your money's moving out. It's going out of the city because it's too expensive. Is this where like Henderson area is up and through here?
No, that's more like Pahrump
Oh, okay.
and that
All right.
stuff.
All right. Anyway, and you're going to Travis County, Texas. Okay, what's that? What's the city there?
Austin.
Then Austin Tech. Your tech's moving out. Washington County, Utah. I have no idea. St. Johns County, Florida. I don't know where that exactly is either. And Monterey County, California. That's interesting.
That's north, yeah.
Yeah, that's the North Bay Area. Monterey County is where people go when they retire in California that are from Northern California. The tech goes to Monterey. It's beautiful there. So it's one of the areas that people go to. It's like huge for it's money. It's just
Beautiful.
It is. It's beautiful and it's money. So these would be the counties: LA, Orange, San Diego, and Santa Clara. Those would be the 4 counties I would go after. If
Okay.
and so the thing of it is, part of why I love this also, Nevada, Vegas, and Arizona, Phoenix, Arizona, are the 2 places where LA moves when they want to retire. When LA wants to get out, they go there. Northern California goes to Reno. They just do. That's just all, it's been that, and Northern California goes up to Washington. They all do. And if you think about it, the weather kind of aligns up more closer to, like, there's no way someone, and LA and California are so different. There's no way someone from LA is going to get, well, they do, but usually it's more Northern California that goes up like that. Southern stays down south. So I go after LA. Now you know.
Now,
Thank
where did
you.
you find this on the GIA site? You said it was in Gary's Miscellaneous. Where is?
Yeah.
is
Oh,
there a
let's
box?
find it on there because that would be good to do anyway. Let's see what we can find. You know? All right, let's go here. Let's move you guys over again. Gary's site, I have bookmarked. That's all that is. It's easier for me, I'm going to be fully honest, to sometimes, oft times, go outside. I think it's under member resources and websites. Miscellaneous. Here we go. All right, so IRS tax migrations right here. This is the U-Haul report. So this is a good one also. This is the one that talks about the banking and what banks have foreclosure properties. Commercial, some other stuff in here. This out of Gary's pages, minus his classes that he's built, this is my favorite. I love this miscellaneous website. There's some really good stuff in here. I haven't used U-Haul report. Look at that. Texas is the #1 growth state of 2021. So I'm not really sure what all is in here. Just looks like just the states.
Let's look at, dig down. Let's see what Texas says, if you don't mind.
Let me see. Texas edged out Florida for the largest, California, Illinois saw the greatest. Y'all, Chicago is exiting. That city is a train wreck. It's the highest tax in the entire United States. The government can't run worth a crap, and massive crime, massive crime. And I just saw, as far as California and LA, Gilbert, I would probably target Long Beach. I would go after that area. And this is the reason why. The Long Beach has always been had heavier crime anyway in the OC. It's always had a little bit heavier crime, but right now there's a huge crime spree that's been going on, and it's been, and with the homeless and everything else, and it's just been really bad. And there's all kinds of stuff that's been hitting the news about Long Beach. So I would probably get something up there on now. Okay, let me see. That's Phoenix. What do we see here? No state netted more. The Lone Star State earned bragging rights as the leading growth of 2021. Tennessee's 3rd. There you go, Bree. South Carolina's 4th. Arizona 5th. Let me see. California is 50th. For people going in. Texas, again, #1 growth state. It held from 2016 to 2018. It only slipped to Florida and Tennessee and then went right back up again. People are moving from the east, a lot of growth coming from the east down the west coast. So people are moving inward, which we saw with COVID. We saw people leave the cities and go out. There's no point in this is what I said about San Francisco and LA, because that's where I lived when COVID hit. There's no point in living in a city where all the cool things about living in a city is you don't have a commute for the most part. You get to go to cool restaurants. You have all kinds of sporting events. You've got bars, movies, theater, music, all that kind of stuff. And if none of that exists, why would you stay there? And that's what happened. People were like this, and you have a little, but you do have a little tiny house and you're dealing with noise and, you know, increased crime and all that. And everyone's like, why would I do this? So you saw this migration out of the cities. Let's see what else. Texas growth is statewide. Although most of it's the burbs, the DFW. The Texas economy is growing. Yes. No income tax. That's another thing. People are leaving tax states and going to non-tax states. That's
Yeah,
part of
but
what-
our property taxes are driving people
you're
crazy.
double in your property taxes, and you guys
It's
always have been.
horrible.
And your new and construction tax, that's what kept Greg and us out of moving down there. We were like, that you pay so much in property tax. Like,
Mhm.
give me an average for a house that's say 500K on property tax.
Oh, I'd say, depending, I'd say probably $8,000.
A year. Yeah.
Yeah.
So our house in San Francisco was 750 and we paid 8K,
Mhm.
you know, so that's a big difference. And that's California. California's expensive too. So anyway, there you go, Craig. Now you know where to hit. It's cool beans. God, no. Gil, there you go, Gil. It is early. I only have 1 cup of coffee down me and I clearly need my second. Good to see you guys though. All right. Anything else?
No, I always have lots of ideas. Just trying to get them to come together is a whole nother thing.
I just talked to a guy yesterday that is taken to writing down every single thing that he needs to do in a very detailed checklist. He removed every single app off of his phone except for his calendar and his phone. Everything. His phone is a blank screen. I think he might have internet. So he's off of, he goes, I'm off Facebook, I'm off everything else like that. His phone has a reminder planner thing. He writes everything down, but he'll set alarms in his phone. And he goes, I even write down brushing my teeth. And I was like, oh my gosh, I could not do this. And he goes, because when I check it off, I feel so good. And I check all my stuff off. And because and when you do that, you release endorphins. And he goes, I feel so good by the time I'm actually ready to start work that I'm just like plow through everything. And he took things and broke them down instead of, he puts together videos for advertising. And he goes, it'll be like edit video is what I used to write down. But he goes, I don't do that anymore because I look at that and I'm like, that's too big of a project. I don't know where to start. And I only have half an hour. But so he broke it down to find music for video, do this for video, do that for video, do this for video. Because he goes, can I find a song, which is apparently the hardest part, in half an hour? Maybe not, but I sure can get a lot of no's off the list. And so that's what he's been doing. He just broke it down very minutely, put everything on there so it makes him feel good, and goes check, 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 check all the way through the day.
Well, that book I'm reading, The Vein of Gold, which is supposed to unlock your creativity and what you're naturally good at. One of the first exercises it tells you to do is to get up every morning and write a minimum of 3 pages of just whatever's in your head and get it out. And as I started doing that, it brought up, how I was feeling, what hurt, my to-do list, where I needed to go. I mean, it just flowed.
It just pours. It just pours.
First thing in the morning. I mean, sometimes I do it before my Bible study and sometimes I do it after, just depending.
On my iPad, every day, I do something that's called Homework for Life, but I really prefer like Life Story. And this is, get it where I can hold it. This is, it has a date and it has a little bit of whatever the 5 seconds were that day that impacted my life or affected me. And sometimes it's really hard and sometimes there's not much. But the cool thing is I can go back and look at a day and I can, hang on, let me find one. 1/13/21, Sherry, Craig, sorry, Craig, it's my evil brother. Craig, which is why you're the good Craig. Craig's wife reared her ugly head about dad yesterday. She is vile. I instantly know what happened that day and everything. That's a bad one to pick, but she really did do that. Sick, feeling twice from food, really sick. I think it was a panic attack. I don't know what the hell I was doing that day. I got my phone. I instantly feel calmer. My phone was broke. So 1/22/21, I got my phone. I instantly feel calmer. We are a sick society because I was so my phone. But it just brings me all back. Oh yeah, I remember that. But if you would have asked me, you know, what happened with your phone? I don't know. So I highly encourage either dump it all out or something like this. What this does is it makes every day have meaning, and it makes every day different than every other day. And that part I really love. And also because I like to write stories and figure out things that are going on in my life. Like if I ever wanted to talk about, well, whatever, I pull this up and I'm like, oh, I got my phone and I was very stressed out over not having a phone. And I could do a whole thing on phones because it just brings it right back up again. Oh yeah, that's, you know, stupid phones. We're addicted to the dang things. And then that guy who just is like, I'm not going to do this, not going to be on my phone like this. It was very interesting. Anyway.
I had the opportunity to give Gary a ride to the Mandalay Bay from the airport. And so I had him in my car for like 8 minutes or maybe 10 minutes and asked him for some advice, you know, and he told me the book, The Power of Habit by, I think, Charles Duhigg.
Good one.
And so I started listening to it and I realized that's where it's at for me. It's like I have to develop the habit so that subconsciously I'm on track for where I really want to accomplish in my life.
I love The Power of Habit. It is a fascinating book on the brain and how it works and why we do the things that we do. And once you have the habit, you know you have the habit when it feels weird when you don't do it. So like I work out 3 times a week. If I did not work out one of those days, and like sometimes my schedule's screwy and I have to move with my workouts, I have to move them around with my trainer. And it's always weird. Like I work out Monday, Wednesday, Friday. That's what I do. It's Monday, Wednesday, Friday. And it's weird. And that's how you know you have it. You know, when it's weird when you don't. Yeah, that's good stuff. All right. Okay, y'all. Anything else? You do look like Princess Leia. It's the high white collar too.
I'm sure it's really just the kitty cat earrings that does it, you know.
That's exactly what it is. Yeah. All right, y'all. Have a fabulous rest of your day. And no matter what is going on, there's always good that's going to work out of it. There just is.
Yeah,
I don't know what it is.
What's gonna happen?
Yep. It's in there. It's somewhere. We just sometimes got to find it. Yep. All right. Have a great day. See y'all mañana.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.